So imagine this. What if your cloud infrastructure could just fix itself, optimize costs on the fly and never ever go down? That's the huge promise of AI automation, right? But here's the flip side. What if that exact same AI could also trigger a catastrophic multi-region outage in literally the blink of an eye? The real question isn't if we should use AI, it's how we do it safely. So let's talk about how to build those all-important guardrails.
Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll dive right into the core dilemma of AI automation. Then we'll get into why guardrails are absolutely non-negotiable. After that, I'll introduce you to a framework called operations governance, and we'll see it in action in a real-world scenario. And finally, we'll talk about how these safety nets actually let you move faster, not slower.
All right, so let's get right to the heart of it. This is the ultimate high-stakes balancing act for any cloud architect out there. On one side, you have this incredible game-changing potential, and on the other, just massive, massive risk. I mean, just stop and think about that for a second. A single AI making decisions in milliseconds, managing every single server, every database, every network rule you have. What could possibly go right? Or, more importantly, what could go horribly wrong? On the one hand, you've got the absolute dream scenario, right? A cloud that's so smart it actually heals itself and anticipates your needs before you even know you have them. But then, there's the nightmare. A single tiny logical error from that AI that just ripples out, causing this massive cascading failure across your entire global footprint. And that right there, that's exactly why letting an AI run wild without any constraints just isn't an option. Look, this isn't about not trusting the technology. It's about having a healthy respect for its sheer power. Think about it like this. Humans, we tend to make mistakes one at a time. A script might make mistakes pretty fast, but an AI is operating at a scope and a velocity that's just orders of magnitude bigger. So a tiny miscalculation doesn't just create one little problem, it can trigger a complete avalanche of failures. Yeah, this chart really says it all, doesn't it? Just look at the scale here. A manual error, maybe it takes down a single service. A scripted error, okay, maybe a whole cluster. But an unchecked AI-driven error, the blast radius is in a completely different league. We are talking systemic, multi-region outages. And here is the real kicker. An AI is an unbelievable data crunching machine, but it has zero business context. It has no idea that you have a huge marketing launch next week or that it's the week of Black Friday. It just lacks that crucial human wisdom. Okay, so how do we fix this? How do we inject that essential human wisdom back into the process? Well, that's exactly where operations governance comes in. It's basically a three-part safety net designed to give you the best of both worlds, AI speed with human safety. First up, we have manual approval. This is your ultimate human in the loop, your final sanity check. For any change that's high stakes, the AI can make a suggestion, but a human expert always has the final say. It's a non-negotiable safety layer. Next, we've got policy checks. Think of this as your automated rulebook. Before a change can even get to a human for review, it has to pass these automated checks. Is it secure? Is it compliant? Is it staying within the budget? If it fails any of those, it's stopped dead in its tracks. And finally, my personal favorite, blast radius limits. This is a total game changer. You get to predefine exactly how much of your system any single change is allowed to touch. So if an AI wants to reconfigure 10,000 servers all at once, but your limit is set to 100, that action is immediately flagged for a manual review. All right, theory is great, but let's see how this whole thing actually works in the real world. Let's put ourselves in the shoes of a senior cloud architect for a minute. So imagine this. It's a Tuesday morning, you grab your coffee, and an alert pops up. Your shiny new AI operations tool has an idea, and it wants your opinion. Let's follow that idea as it makes its way through our governance system. So here's the proposal. The AI wants to scale down the main production database. And its reasoning is pretty solid. It's seen low traffic for the past 48 hours. The data is 100% correct. But look at the risk and the blast radius. This one change would affect your entire primary region. So watch what happens. The AI makes its proposal. It actually sails right through the automated policy checks. No security violations, no cost overruns. But then, bam, it hits that blast radius limit. The system flags it as a high-impact change, which automatically triggers a mandatory manual approval. And now it lands in our architect's queue. And this is where the human wisdom saves the day.
The architect takes one look at the proposal and immediately rejects it. Why? Because they know something the AI doesn't. There's a massive product launch happening in just a few days. The AI saw the data pattern, but the human understood the business context. That guardrail just prevented a complete disaster.
And this all leads us to the final, and I think the most important takeaway here. These guardrails, they're not about slowing you down. They're about building the trust you need to actually accelerate, but to do it safely.
You see, when you have a solid safety net in place, it actually empowers your team to innovate. They can start using these powerful AI tools with confidence instead of fear. It's not about slowing AI down, it's about speeding up safely. The best way to start? Pick your most critical, most important workflow and apply your first guardrail there. Just watch how the confidence across the team starts to grow.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. As you start bringing more AI into your own operations, what is that one crown jewel application, that one mission-critical workflow that you are going to protect first? Because building that very first guardrail, that's your first real step toward unlocking the true power of AI automation.